Tier 1, well, pick 2 rebates and then update e-pencil. It's Friday. It's 2 o'clock. What's that mean? It means Automotive Fridays. It's Derek at the Cardone Group, and we are hijacking Grant's YouTube channel. We're on our Facebook page. We're on our Instagram page. We are live, and we're coming at you today to talk about electronic deal desking. We, the Cardone Group, brought electronic deal desking to the market back in 2001. It was a really interesting time. We were the first to bring out full disclosure negotiations and to really start talking about, hey, what's it mean to present figures to the customer in a consistent, polished, professional, computer-generated worksheet, every single customer, every single time. And you know what we found? We found that immediately as we started doing this, even back then, we were getting amazing success, helping dealers close more deals, helping dealers make more profit, helping raise the customer satisfaction because of the way that we were negotiating. All this has been a huge benefit to dealers throughout the years. And so now, full circle, here we are in 2018, and we're still talking about deal desking. We do a ton of work with the different OEMs, and one of the things that we hear all the time from the OEMs is that deal desking is consistently one of the biggest challenges that they have inside of the customer experience at their dealerships. And we look at it, and there's a lot that happens there, right? We've got a customer, they've been online, they've already done their research, they've already looked at pricing, they've looked at different makes and models, they've looked at different brands. They show up at the dealership and they meet a salesperson. They weren't coming in to find a best friend, they were there to find out about a vehicle. They meet the salesperson, they go through the experience with the salesperson, and you know what? At the end of this process, if we've got a good rapport and we find the right vehicle and we're able to get into the negotiations, now it gets interesting. And we start to negotiate with the customer, and there's a bunch of rules that we have for negotiations. And at some point in the future, we're going to go through all those rules and talk about what it takes to be successful in negotiations. But right now, simple fact, if it's not credible, it's hard for the customer to get into agreement with you. If they don't believe you, and if they don't trust the figures, it's hard for the customers to get into agreement with you. And I want you to think about this. We've all done this, right? As managers, there's a lot of us that have made a really good career saying today only $299 per month plus, and then it ain't a real deal unless we put the happy face in there, right? You got to draw that happy face to know the customer know that we're really making them a good deal. So look, this is gone, right? We need to get past that. We need to acknowledge the fact that these customers are very educated. They're seeing all the data that they want to see, and we need to make it really easy for them. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little bit of fun with e-pencil. Now, e-pencil, like I said, we are the market leaders. We brought this first out to the market in 2001, and we've been dominating with it ever since. E-pencil still #1 tool when it comes to easy use. Vinny, you can't see him. He's right here. He's going to drive. I don't know how much we're going to be able to see up here, but we're going to try. We're going to try like heck and do this. We don't have the fancy software yet where we can do the screen inside of the screen so you guys can see what's happening. But all Vinny just did is he's going to work a deal. He hit new. He's going to type in a last name. He's going to type in a first name. He's selling Grant a car. I got a feeling if he can get a G550, we can get him financed on a new Nissan. He's going to type in a stock number. Now, all he did, he put in 3 pieces of information, a name and a stock number. And what that did is that pulled up live from our database, and it's hard to see, but it pulled up live from our database right there, the current lease and retail incentives that are available on that Nissan Altima. And he selected the tier, and he's going to pick a rebate. We know what rebate this customer is going to qualify for, and then he's going to tell e-pencil to calculate that deal. Now, we joke about this a lot, and it's hard to see on the screen, but it's already calculated. It's calculated all 9 retail payments. It's calculated 9 lease payments. It's calculated the taxes for the city, state, and the county. It is seriously 3 clicks and 1 print is all it takes for us to be able to present a worksheet to a customer. Now, a lot of software has emulated our worksheet. The problem is they don't know why. They don't understand what they were even doing, right? Why does it have 9 payments on the retail? Why does it have 9 payments on the lease? What's the point, right? So there's a lot of software out there that's emulated it, and they don't understand why. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Benny, why don't you pull up the worksheet so we can see that? I don't know if it's going to show. I have no idea if you guys can even see it. It looks like it's all washed out to me. So I'm gonna see if I can slide this forward just a little bit. I don't think that helped any. Well, there's a worksheet up there. We're gonna have to take a peek at that. We'll do what we can. So right here, there's 9 retail payments, there's 9 lease payments. This is a full disclosure of the figures down here on the side. Now, what's interesting about this, and something that we learned when we're working with clients, is that if you don't have in print the answer for any question that the customer might have, then they automatically think you're trying to hide something from them. So when we make this presentation, we have the taxes, we have the fees, we have the incentives, we have the down payment, we have the rate and term for each one of these, the interest rate and the term. We also have the term and the mileage for the leases. We have the lease in value. So you're able to see all of the different elements of the negotiation aspect when you're going through this. Now, what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to grab a worksheet from one of our workbooks so I can hold it up to the camera and you can at least see it a little bit better, because it's really too hard to see off of the screen. So give me just 2 seconds. I'm going to grab that. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're 10X in your sales process. Yes, sir, Bob. So I'm going to hold this up a little bit closer to the cameras. I'm going to hold it up here to YouTube first. So this is what a worksheet looks like when it's printed out, right? It's got all the information on there. It's got all the disclosure, right? So here it is for you guys over on Facebook land. You folks on Instagram, there it is. Okay. Reality is it's fast, man. 3 clicks in a print. You guys saw it. We did a last name, a first name, a stock number, pulled up all the lease and retail incentives. Boom, there's your deal. So now I'm a salesperson and I'm walking back over with this worksheet and I'm ready to negotiate with my client, right? Hopefully I've done my greeting correctly, right? I've done a needs assessment, right? Where I turn the buyer into the seller, got them excited about selling us their present vehicle. We've had that professionally appraised. We had a member of our management team, right? What they do, they went out there and they met that customer, right? They did a really good, solid EMI. I went out and I did, as Grant says it, a double dollar demonstration on that vehicle, right? I kicked butt on that product presentation. I took them on a demo drive if that's what they wanted to do. Came back and I used some trial closes, and now I'm inside and I'm ready to negotiate. Boom, right? It's just that fast. 3 clicks in a print. Even though you couldn't see it, it was fast. It was up there. So now what are we doing? We're a salesperson. How does this happen? What do I do next? So my manager hands me this worksheet. So Vin, he's over here, he's driving, right? I'm talking to him. I'm like, hey boss, I'm ready. Got this deal. Vinny says, no problem. Let's get this thing structured. He gets it all put together. He prints, and it will actually take longer for that worksheet to print out of your printer than it will for him to desk the deal once he gets used to it. So now, boom, I got the worksheet. I'm ready. I'm a salesperson. I walk back over to the customer. Now, there's a couple of things that we do in the process that we do it for one reason. We want to set up what happens in the negotiation experience. I had told you guys before that we don't include anything in the negotiation experience or in the sales process unless it adds value in the negotiation experience. Think about that, right? We don't need to have a lot of fluff. We've got to drive forward at all times with the customer, getting deeper into the process so that I can get him to hear or her to hear, and I can ask him to buy. That's the critical piece. That's what it's about, is getting to this worksheet, right? We got to get to that write-up. We talk about it conceptually, 100% write-up, 100% write-up. You ever going to get to 100% write-up? No, it's almost impossible. But you know what? That's what we strive for. We want to write up as many customers as we possibly can, and we want to get to that point by doing all the steps logically. So now, here I am. I'm ready to go. My manager, Vin, he hooked me up. I got my stuff. Now I'm bringing this out, okay? I'm bringing this out, and I walk out to the customer, and I simply say to them, hey, Mr. Customer, you did the hard part. You found that vehicle that you like. Now you need to do is decide how you want to pay for it. I've brought you some options. Now, part of that goes back to what we did earlier when we were doing the selection and demonstration process, right? That was our trained cameraman that just came and moved it because apparently I was getting a little bit too close to the screen. So our trained camera operator just rolled the table back a little bit, so I got a little bit more clearance for my 5 head. So now in this process, right? When we were out on the lot, we're walking around and we're just having a conversation. We're helping that customer find that vehicle. We tell them, hey, you know what's hardest part about purchasing a car nowadays is finding one you like, right? That's how we're setting up that negotiations when we get inside. We're using that as we go through our alternatives. Man, the hardest part, finding that car that you like. Now we're inside. We're ready to go. Boom, I got it. I'm ready. I'll walk back over to the customer. Hey, Mr. Customer, you did the hard part today. You found that vehicle that you like. Now all you need to do is decide how you want to pay for it, and it brought you some options. And we lay that worksheet right down on the table in front of them. We talk about this. Watch, here we go. Ding, 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 ding. We talk about this, and we use our pen to help guide the customer through the process when we're doing the negotiations, because ultimately, I want to control what they're looking at as I'm saying my different levels. So I walk back over, I lay it down. All you need to do is select the option, right? All you need to do is figure out how you want to pay for it. I brought you some options. So based on the vehicle that you selected, the current market value of your vehicle, we prepared 9 retail payments and 9 lease payments. All I need you to do is circle the payment, works best for you and your family, sign here at the bottom. I'll get your car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery. If we make a presentation like that using the worksheet, there's only 5 possible money objections. Price is too high. It's not enough money for my trade. Don't have that much money down. I can't afford the monthly payment, or the interest rate's too high. If you know what the 5 objections possibly are, what can you do? You can be prepared to overcome them, right? There's 2 non-situational objections that you might hear. They're really stalls, right? I'm not buying today. I need to think about it. Or they might even say, I'll take it, right? So when we make this presentation, right, from the top, I walk back over, hey, Mr. Customer, hard part's over. You found that car that you like. Now all you need to do is decide how you want to pay for it. Buy some options. I'll lay that down. Based on the vehicle you selected, the current market value of your vehicle, we've prepared 9 payments at an average APR and 9 leases, allowing 12,000 miles a year. All I need you to do is circle the payment. Works best for you and your family. Sign here at the bottom. I'll get your car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery. Got to ask them to buy. One of the biggest challenges that we still see today in every single dealership we go to is that there's salespeople that don't ask them to buy. They make the presentation, they lay this out, and they say, hey, what do you think? That's not asking somebody to buy, right? How's that look? That's not asking them to buy. We need to make this into a purchasing decision, right? So I walk back over, my manager, Vinny, he gave me this, and I come back in, and I'm so excited by it. Hey, Mr. Customer, you did the hard part. You found that vehicle that you like. Now you need to do is decide how you want to pay for it. I've brought you some options. And we lay that worksheet down so that they can begin to look at it, right? And we can start that process. Based on that vehicle you selected and the current market value of your vehicle, we prepared 9 payments based on an average APR and 9 lease payments right here, allowing 12,000 miles a year. All I need you to do, circle the payment, works best for you and your family, sign here at the bottom, and we'll get that car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery. Now, when you think about this, from the standpoint of that presentation, is there anything that I said that the customer can object to before I ask them to buy? Right? There's not. And this is why this is important. Unfortunately, a lot of the stores that we work with, when we first go in, one of the things that they do is the salesperson walks back over and they go, hey, I got great news. I got great news. I talked to my boss. The car's $22,000. We'll sell it to you for $21,000. Immediately, before you even have a chance to say, give me your okay here and let's get this car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery, what's the customer say to you? That's not a good enough deal. It's not enough discount, right? I want more off. Can you do better than that, right? You haven't even had a chance to ask them fully to buy. Think about that. There isn't anything that I'm saying in my presentation that they can object to until after I get done, right? Hey, based on the vehicle you selected, current market value of your vehicle, we've prepared 9 payments based on an average APR and 9 leases at 12,000 miles a year. All I need you to do, circle the payment, works best for you and your family, sign here at the bottom, I'll get your car clean and ready for immediate delivery. I didn't give them something to immediately object to. Now, it doesn't mean they're going to roll over and go, oh, okay, I'll take it. That doesn't happen always. It does sometimes, but it doesn't always. So here's the key piece. You need to be prepared to move in the direction of the buyer's objection, but we have to ask them to buy first. Don't walk back and say, hey, what do you think? Because they're going to say, I think it sucks. It's not good enough. I need a better deal, right? We need to ask them to buy, right? If you've done everything that you were supposed to do outside, right? You did a great greeting. You did a great needs analysis. You did that double dollar presentation. You did an amazing product drive. You did your trial closes when you came back. You've earned the right to ask the customer to purchase a car. That's why we're here. right? You've earned that right, and hopefully you've established the value of your professionalism, value of your product, and the value of purchasing from your dealership with your why buy here. Think about that for a second. You're a commodity that they can't get anywhere else. They can get that car, most dealerships. They can't get the experience they're getting from you anywhere else. So now, bring that full circle. Vinny, got my deal. I'm on 120-814. He prints out the worksheet. I'm gone for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I come back over. I sit down with the customer. Hey, Mr. Customer, you did the hard part today. You found that vehicle that you like. Now you need to do is just decide how you want to pay for it. Brought you some options. We'll bring the worksheet out. Based on the vehicle you selected, the current market value of your vehicle, we prepared 9 payments based on an average APR, 9 leases, allowing 12,000 miles a year. All I need you to do, circle the payment that works best for you and your family, sign here at the bottom, get your car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery, right? I'm asking the customer to buy. There's no mistake about that. I hope that's crystal clear, because that's one of the critical pieces that we have to do in sales. I don't care what you're selling, you have to ask the customer to buy. And unfortunately, too often in our industry, we don't. I said it already. What do you think? How's that look? How's that sound? Don't ask those questions. Ask them to buy. And it's critical that you ask the customer to buy before they have a chance to object about the figures. So that's the reason why we do the presentation the way that we do. So out of all the stuff that we teach, we have, I don't even know how many, thousands of word tracks that we teach. There isn't any word track that we tell you have to do exactly the way we teach it, except for this one. And the reason why is because we know it works, and it's the simplest, fastest way to make the presentation to get to a point where the customer can say yes or no. I heard Grant talking about it earlier today, and he was talking about objections and when the customer says no. And you know what? The reality is we want them to say no, because when they go, I don't know, I'm going to go home and think about it, right? You're not getting a close. We need them to object. And if your manager structured the deal properly, based upon the information you gathered in the needs assessment, guess what? You're going to find that objection, and it's going to put you in a position that you can take control of the deal. So let's take a look at one of those possible objections and how we handle it, okay? It's going to be hard to see with this and the way that this the light is and everything that's going on, but I'm going to try and do it right now for you. So let's look at this. So when I make my presentation, okay, hey, all I need you to do is circle the payment works best for you and your family, sign here at the bottom, get your car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery. Now, when I do that, the customer's got the 5 money objections that they possibly come up with, right? There's 5, right? Price, trade, money down, monthly payment, or the interest rate. That's the only 5 money objections there is. And if you're a professional, guess what you're going to do? You're going to practice overcoming those objections. So let's just go with price right now. I'm going to do a real simple, real easy way to overcome price. And we're going to talk about it for just a second. Okay. And then we're going to talk about Cardone Institute, because I think it's important, because your management team needs to be involved in this. So price. Okay. We got 3 basic rules for price, right? First thing you have to do is you have to be able to logically justify your price without giving a discount on the car. Second thing you have to do is be able to control the discount. And third thing you have to do is elicit an offer if you can't get them closed. So how does that work? What does that look like, right? So the customer says, hey, well, I don't think that's a good enough price, Derek. I see what you're doing, but I feel like I can buy the car cheaper. You say, hey, you know what? I understand, right? What do we always start with? We want to agree with the customer. We have to get an agreement, right? I understand where you're coming from, Mr. Customer. I do. I truly do. Remember out on the lot, you told me you wanted a white car, you wanted the gray leather interior, you had to have the Bluetooth, you wanted a sunroof, you wanted the seat warmer, and you wanted the 22-inch wheels and tires. This vehicle has all that and more, and you know what? It'll be worth more when you go to sell it because of the features it has. This is an excellent value at $21,927. I just need your full legal name here, and I'll get your car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery. Okay? That's called a restate, revalidate, close. It works consistently across any sales industry. But what you do is you restate what's important to the customer, and you revalidate the pricing based upon that restated value. So, hey, I'm with you. I understand how you feel. I don't like, you told me you wanted a white car, you wanted the gray leather interior, you wanted the sunroof, the Bluetooth, you wanted the 22-inch wheels. This vehicle's got all that and more. And you know what? It's going to be worth more when you go to sell it because of those features. This is an excellent value. Give me your full legal name here. I'll get your new car clean and ready for immediate delivery. So I just overcame the objection without giving a discount. Again, I don't think that the customer's just going to roll over and go, okay, I'll take it, just because I was able to do that. They might, and that would be awesome. Not necessarily what's going to happen, but when we're doing this, we have to be prepared, right? We have to go 1, we have to go 2, we have to go 3. I'm a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've had the pleasure of being able to compete in Jiu-Jitsu all across the world, actually. And one of the things that I tell people all the time about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is that it's chess with the human body, right? If I'm only thinking about what I'm doing right now, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to lose to a guy that's 2 steps ahead of me. Same thing goes with negotiations. When we're actually in this negotiation, if the only thing I'm thinking about is where I'm at right now, and I'm not thinking about the possible objections 2 steps down the road, I'm not going to get this deal closed. I need to be a professional. I need to be prepared. I need to have these word tracks on my tongue so that I can come out and overcome any of the customer's objections. So the first thing I do, right, overcome the price objection without giving them an immediate discount. Unfortunately, most salespeople that we work with, guess what happens? We go into a store, the customer says the price is too high. They go, oh, what do you want to pay? Right? Make me an offer. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. But that's the last thing we do. That's not the first thing we do. We call that begging for a deal. I'm all about getting that deal. Don't start there. Restate, revalidate. Hey, you want a white car, gray leather interior, you want a sunroof, Bluetooth, 22-inch wheels. Got it. More equipment than that, and it'll be worth more if you go to sell it in the future because of those equipments. This is excellent value. Give me your okay here. Okay. Next thing that we want to do, if we don't get the deal closed, we want to give the customer a small discount. This is a big problem in our industry, and I'll tell you why. We track all the deals that have been desk through ePencil. We've got over 30 million deals that have been desk inside of ePencil, and there's one thing that we see consistently. Whatever discount you give the customer, they think you're giving them 50% of what you have available. Think about that for a second. If you give the customer a $500 discount, what do they think you got? You got at least another $500 because nobody would give everything, right? And so we get into this catch-22 where we give them $1,000 or $1,200 or $2,000. The customer doesn't feel it's good enough, and then we give them $100, and they're like, well, now you're trying to get me, right? You're keeping 900 out of the 1,000 that you still have left. It's a weird logic thing that happens with customers. We've been tracking this for years. What we teach is that you need to be able to offer a small discount that's controllable. You need to be able to do it ideally without having to run back to your desk. So we set this up before we even go in. So now Benny's my manager. I get my worksheet. He tells me where I'm at, and I say, hey boss, if they object on the price and they are, and I know this from my needs assessment, they are a school teacher over at Woodward Elementary School, right? What can I give them as a discount for being a school teacher? And Benny, your manager, is going to tell you, hey, you can give them $100 off, or you can give them $200 off, or you can give them $300 off. Whatever it is, it's going to be specific to the product that you're actually selling. So now watch. I'm back there with the customer. Hey, it's going to be worth more when you go to sell it. I did my first overcoming the objection without a discount. It's going to be worth more when you go to sell it because of this. Now, Derek, I'm telling you, I know I can get a better deal. You know what? Maybe I can help you. If I remember correctly, you told me you work at Woodward. Are you a member of the Teachers Credit Union? Are you, anything involved with the Teachers Union? Oh, yeah, I'm in the union. Okay, well, we can give you an additional $300 because you are a member of the Teachers Union. That will take us to $20,997. I need your initials here, full legal name here. Let's go ahead and get this car clean and ready for immediate delivery. I've controlled the discount, okay? Again, it doesn't mean it's going to work, but it's better than begging at the beginning. And what we've found is that if you ask for the customer to buy, if you ask the customer to buy 3 times in a row without giving huge discounts, the customer is much more likely to either that's kind of funny, A, make you an offer. They say, well, look, you do it for 19 grand, I'll do the deal. Or B, they'll say yes, okay? That's where we're at. We need to be able to be prepared to ask them to buy at least 3 times in a row. So think about that. So, hey, look, you remember the Teachers Credit Union? You remember the Teachers Union? Yep, you are. Well, great. We can get you an additional $300 off because of that. That'll put us at $20,997. Initials here, full legal name here. Let's get your car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery. Derek, look, I'm not going to do that. The most I'll pay is $19,000. Now, I've had salespeople tell me, well, that close didn't work. Yeah, it did. That's exactly what we want to have happen. It worked. You got a deal. You got an offer at least, and now we can work from the offer, right? So I'm going to write up the offer at that point in time. Or the customer might say, yeah, I'll take it. Or if they don't, then we go to the third thing. Hey, look, you know what? I've really enjoyed my time with you. I really want to get this worked out. I know this is the right vehicle. I know we're the right place to do business. I feel like I'm the right guy to help you with your automotive needs. I'm going to be here to take care of you, right? What is it about the monies that isn't working for you and your family? Let's try and get this figured out, right? And this is where we start working towards an offer from the customer. But remember, we've logically justified our price without a discount. We've offered a small discount, and now we're working through it to get an offer from the customer. That's the 3 steps for handling price. Now, there's a lot more to this. I'm hoping next week we can have the software so that we can actually show this in screen and you guys can see a little bit more about how we handle the deal desking in screen. Remember, We're going to get this worksheet out to them. 3 clicks and a print. It's going to be fast. And we're going to be prepared, because as a salesperson, what do you have to do? You have to understand where you're at, right? There's only 5 possible money objections: price, trade, money down, monthly payment, interest rate. That's it. There's only 5 possible money objections. You, as a salesperson, have to know your craft, and you have to know how to get there. Okay, so that's what I wanted to hit today. We're going to go through the other things next week. And again, we're trying to teach you how to negotiate using customers' money, not yours. I went with price today for one reason, because I felt it'd be the easiest to do just with the worksheet without you being able to see the screen. We're going to go through the rest of the stuff. Next week, we're going to talk about overcoming down payment objections. We're going to talk about overcoming monthly payment objections. We're going to talk about trade value, but we need to be able to see a little bit deeper onto the screen to be able to show you how to handle those, okay? So we're going to hit those in the next coming weeks. All right, real quick, Cardone Institute. You want to 10x your sales process? Man, Cardone Institute's the place to do it. It's going to be running next week. We still got a couple of seats left. We had somebody sign up earlier today. It is cardoneinstitute.com, cardoneinstitute.com, or email us, info@cardonegroup.com, and we will be more than happy to go through anything that you need to know about getting your manager down here. Highly recommend it. I can't overemphasize how life-changing it is for a lot of these managers. We have people come through, they're like, yeah, man, I was thinking about getting out of the industry. Love it. I'm back. I'm revitalized. And then go back and have record months. cardoneinstitute.com. Come check us out. I'm Derek Simons. This has been your Automotive Friday. Thank you, Grant, for letting us hijack your channel again today. And we'll be back next week to talk more about negotiations. And hopefully we'll have some cool technology to let you see the screen a little bit better without having to have the glare. So, hey, I'm Derek. You guys have a kick butt weekend. Remember, ask the customer to buy before they object, right? Don't go in there and say, hey, what do you think? How's that look? How's that sound? Ask them to buy. That's what you need to do. Sign right here. Get your car clean and ready for immediate delivery. I don't care whose worksheet you're using. That's what we want to do it. I'm Derek. We're the Cardone Group, cardoneinstitute.com, 10xyourprofits.com. Talk to you next week on Automotive Fridays.